So in my last video, I explained quantum mechanics of the human existence, which is essentially energy that occurs through this lifetime that we can go back to and course correct within ourselves. Now, why I feel this is very important is until you course correct that energy, you are a magnanimous manifester. So although the things that you're currently manifesting are in place, you're also manifesting within that current state prior energy that's in influx to that. Which is why no matter how many times you try to recreate the most amazing experience of something, you will always come up with all parts of that manifestation. Some of it will be in the current state in which you're in, and some of it may be childhood wounds that need to be re-examined so it can then choose a different thought pattern in that area. We're going to go more in depth over the next few videos because it's a current topic for a lot of us right now, myself included. And so I want to talk on these to ensure that we're supporting one another through this process. I'm going to be supporting you by adding the knowledge in which I have within me as a support system. So I'll tell you stories that will give you examples thereof to give you reference points on examples you may also have within yourself as a way to help you pinpoint a little more clearly. If this doesn't help, then these next few videos won't be for you. And I'm doing this as my way to contribute to the collective consciousness by utilizing who I am and my storyline, but please don't get caught up in my storyline. They're energy in motion, and it's it's being worked through and worked out by me, for me, and because of me, as yours should be for you. But I know when we see each other's stories, guilty as charged, I too have wanted to go in and save and want to fix and say the right words to the other person so that they don't feel the way they're feeling, right? But we're going to keep feeling the way we're feeling until we, as free will ambassadors of energy, choose to change that and identify where that's at. How can you identify? These are really fun ways to do it. If you're in traffic and someone cuts you off and you're angry, hurt, upset, frustrated, look at the thought of what it feels like. Okay? Travel that energy to the point of identifying how it makes you feel. So yesterday someone cut me off and I almost hit them, so it brought up my fear, and then it brought up my frustration, and the frustration was consideration, right? Then I thought, is this feeling new, or does it have residue from something prior? More than 99% it will have a residue from prior. Travel that energy. This is where it can get a little bit confusing, right? Because you have to travel the energy through past time frames of your age. So you might be at a certain age now, and you might find that it was it originated when you're like, when was the first time? So you ask yourself, when was the first time I felt not being considered? So as I went through, I could see as a child, a lot of our life is filled around not being considered for our feelings. That is my opinion, because I wasn't considered, right? Exactly, confirmation. So now I look and I see what could be the opposite feeling of considered. Consideration. What could the consideration feel like? What does it, what would it have felt like if my parents took my feelings into consideration? And I start to work around the energy of consideration in one area of my life to ensure that all areas of my life start to have that vibration, that energetic residue of consideration, right? And I can start to see, and this is where it can sometimes get confusing, because you can start to see how it's been implemented into friendships, relationships, working environments, right? And how each time it's brought up anger, and then it got incorporated into your persona, your personality, how you react to things, and then also how you think and feel. This is where the awareness must begin, because you are going to become your own healer in quantum mechanics. And quantum mechanics is that you can go back in time, right, to an age that's anchored in the knowing of yourself back then, and actually work with that younger part of yourself to start that exchange of new ideas and new feelings that can be incorporated in this now moment. So it's a quantum time travel of self to transform energy into a new frequency. And it's not about good or bad, right? It's about, is non-consideration the highest frequency now that you know, in this moment? Would that be, because first you start to become considerate within self, but that still doesn't change the consideration of someone on the outside, right? Because the residue of not being thought of as considerate is still in play. So I really feel like I did a good job with the explanation of the considerate piece of it as a storyline for us to look at and examine within ourselves. And I'm actually really excited, because I feel like I've been giving examples of myself in my storyline, and I feel like in some ways it's confused the watcher, and and I don't want to confuse you. I want to have these videos lend themselves out as an example of one trying to be as, one choosing, not trying would be not doing it. I am choosing to be as transparent in my life as possible, so that I may be a clear reflection of a mirror that you can be excited to have in your existence realm. And I love that YouTube is worldwide. I love that it's a platform that requires no money exchange. So I can offer who I am as an example of the change we want to see in the world. So, if you're watching this, you also, in your manifesting your highest potential of self, have also made that choice. So that's really cool. So, hi. Anyways, have an incredible day.